Here we are working on a project in the garden to build raised beds. We are using concrete in order to make edging, and the intent here is to make something kind of look more natural and organic. We thought about using concrete blocks, which might have been easier. They're certainly kind of heavy, but they would have made a more square, more formal look what we were looking for. We were kind of looking for a more organic form. So we were able to form up some concrete to do this. And we also implemented artistic elements, for example, stained glass and various different kinds of shiny jewels inside is something that we added as well. So the technique is actually fairly easy. The latest one we did was over here, and then right here is the forms. Essentially, you get some wooden stakes, hammer them in, about every 6 inches or so. They could be different sizes, doesn't really matter. And then you use metal flashing. Here we're using aluminum flashing. And then all you need to do is get ready mix cement and mix that. We got a cement mixer to make it easier. Here we're located in Texas, so we don't have to really worry about frost or freeze. Right now it's in the middle of February, and it's 80 degrees right now at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Uh, Maybe we might drop down to 20, but the ground here never really freezes hard. So maybe a concern up north, but not here. So anyway, just some advice right there. And what we're doing is we're just doing this at ground level, and then we're going to go back and add dirt, and we added compost here, which we get from our city for free. We just got to load it up in the truck and haul it over. This is mostly leaf and bark mulch that's been composted, so it's pretty good stuff, but we need to add some more dirt to make it more suitable for gardening. That's that. What we had here earlier, we had pressure treated lumber and kind of like a boardwalk, but that just didn't work out too well. You can kind of see where the outline of that was. It was just wasn't high enough, and the soil just kind of washed away that we had, so this will help with erosion and make it easier to pick crops and keep things bounded. We're eventually going to add some irrigation to this as well, so we can keep things growing throughout the heat of the summer. This job easier, we're going to be using ready mix concrete and a Harbor Freight small concrete mixer. After coupon, it was about 110 bucks. Pretty inexpensive way not to lose your back. So, and now we're going to get ready to mix it. We use 1 gallon of water for every 80 gallons of concrete.
80 pounds.
Or 80 pounds of concrete, 1 gallon of water. At this point, we have the concrete mix and the gallon of water in the concrete mixer, and we're going to go ahead and turn it on. And you just let that mix for a few minutes, and then it'll be ready, and we pour it into a wheelbarrow, bring it over to the job site, and we're done. Pretty simple. Hardest part is lifting the 80-pound bags of concrete. Later on, we'll show how we scoop it out with a cup or gloves, whatever, into the mold and the form, and it's pretty much easy at that. So just goes really fast with one of these little mixers. Here we have the concrete going into the mold and the forms. Just get it a little wetter. It really flows nicely, kind of downhill. It'll bow out a little bit, which really isn't a problem. It kind of makes it look a little more natural. I'll show you that in a little moment. Here in this path, it's not exactly straight up and down to kind of not even width. It's kind of natural and flows and bends and curves. Those arches hopefully will add some strength to it and stability. If it was just a straight wall, it wouldn't quite have that. So anyway, that's that. So we're going to add bark mulch to the paths as well, maybe an inch or so of that to keep the weeds down, and that'll make a nice soft path as well. All you need to do is make your path wide enough to walk through. Maybe make 1 or 2 of them a little wider if you want to get a wheelbarrow in or something like that. Pretty simple project, just step by step, and it doesn't take too long at all. So here we put the stained glass inlay in. We just put paper on one side, kind of glued it, put it in, and then we'll peel that off while it's still wet, and that'll make a stained glass inlay. Totally optional, just decorative.